1994 to 2012 for e-commerce sales to exceed 1 trillion. In 2013, those sales were over $1 trillion in 1 year. And in 2014, already the experts that are tracking e-commerce sales, we are already approaching $1.5 trillion. This is an industry that has grown by $500 billion in the last 12 months and projected to grow even more in 2015. Global e-commerce sales are projected to exceed well over $2 trillion in 2015. Folks, are we in the right business or not? When you look at the success of the IPO of Alibaba and you contrast what they have with his model, when we're global and they want to get global, they, like so many other companies, will be attracted to Dubli, which has united all of the biggest, best, and most popular brands in the world and rewards its customers unlike anyone else can even touch, with the highest cashback. Just a couple of things. But let's get started because we have a lot of information to cover with you today. Our first speaker on the first day, which was Saturday, was none other than Michael Hansen, Dubli CEO and founder. And of course, his part on the program, he shared a lot of the information, even more than I've just shared, about Dubli being in the right place at the right time, and of course, each and every one of us being in the right place at the time, as well as a lot of information about how shopping and buyers' habits have been changing and the changing trends in terms of how people shop and how they're going to continue to shop, the future of shopping. And folks, the bottom line is very simple. If I were to ask this question, having shared the Dubli business opportunity with people, this question, how does this online transformation affect the network marketing or direct selling industry? Well, the reality is no other company other than Dubli in the world we live in today has introduced a 21st century business model. We are leveraging the internet technology and the growth of e-commerce and online shopping like no one has. We're not just a regional or national program just offering one or two things in terms of categories or verticals, but we're offering everything. Selling article was shared on Business for Home, Ted's website. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. He was just quoting some of the stories that are out there in the marketplace, how major companies like Amway, as an example, and many other companies are trying to get e-commerce companies like eBay and other e-commerce companies, not or resell the products that they're selling to their distributors, who are making these available online for pennies on the dollar. Because let's face it, folks, we live in a new economy. We live in a digital economy. We live in an age of information, and this is impacting the network marketing industry dramatically. When you look at the top 100 companies in network marketing and you see their sales signing, you can understand that it's becoming increasingly difficult, as it is for any traditional 20th century business model, to compete with the 21st century business models and online. That's why we see every year traditional retail sales declining and e-commerce sales going up and up. The bottom line is price comparison today is transparent. People have easy access, whether they're going to Google or they're going to Bing or they're going to Yahoo. The customer is in charge, and Dubli is catering to the needs of the customers like no other, which is why we are getting so much positive press today. In fact, we won't have time to show it now, but I'm going to give you a website address if you haven't seen this. But this is one of many national and international programs that are starting to talk about Dubli, giving us positive press. Our CEO and founder, Michael Hansen, was interviewed on Fox Business News by Terry Bradshaw, Fox Business News show, Your Net Worth. This is an incredible show. You can, by going to www.thebestcashbackrewards.org. That's www.thebestcashbackrewards.org, and you can watch this show after this presentation is over. Now, some of the big announcements that everyone got excited about is that now Dubli is waiving all customer fees. So when they're receiving their cash back from their online transactions, instead of paying any kind of banking or transaction fees, which are common in the marketplace, everybody charges them, but no more does Dubli, waiving all customer fees, putting the customer first. Also, very exciting is the introduction of a new help center. As we're focusing on business development on a global basis, it's going to become more important than ever that we can provide easy access to our customers as well as our business associates to get help from our help desk. We have enlisted and outsourced help through an organization called Zendex. This is a very sophisticated customer support network, which is highly rated, and obviously we wanted to have the highest and best high-end reporting and obviously highest customer satisfaction levels, which is why we chose to go with the best. More details on that will be coming out here in the coming few weeks. Also, some changes made to our website to make it so much easier, because there have been some challenged people choosing to shop in different malls from around the world, because we have a global marketplace, but we also have local shopping malls in various major countries around the world. So we want to increase usability and try to eliminate as much as possible any challenges. So when customers now log in, they're going to be prompted with a local regional greeting based upon their geo IP address. And then, of course, they're going to be asked to select their primary mall of registration. This is to just cut down on any issues or challenges that might be created. In addition to that, our new customer account is going to provide the absolute best in account management. We have a new layout, usability fixes, and optimizing our content, again, all to give the customer the highest and best visibility when it comes to who they choose or how they choose to shop to get the highest and best cash back, savings, and earnings. Also, we are going to, with the customer account, start motivating our customers to upgrade from free or premium to VIP. We are going to now allow them to bookmark their favorite stores, as well as when they are online shopping, we're going to allow them, if they upgrade to VIP membership, to go back 30 days and capture all the cash back they would have earned as a VIP customer. Again, incentivizing the free customer, as well as providing further discounts, coupons, and vouchers to upgrade to VIP. And of course, one of the highlights in the next presentation, we have an incredible individual that has been brought on board that has done amazing things in the world of marketing, working with customers, online shoppers in particular, that is providing us this and so much more that we'll get into a little bit more today, and then more when we recap the Sunday and Monday event from this past weekend. One of the other things that each individual customers will be able to do is manage store visibility on their mall. With tens of thousands of choices to make, most people tend to stick to the ones they know and trust, the ones they're loyal to. So a customer now has the ability to deactivate or reactivate individual stores with just the click of the mouse. So again, we're increasing the functionality and providing individuality to the customer upon request. We also showcased something that has not aired yet, so I can't show you tonight, but we made sure all the recording devices were off, because here within the next few weeks, we're going to be announcing when this will actually air. It's going to be airing internationally on Bloomberg. where Michael Hansen was interviewed by Donald Trump Jr. And of course, this, like the other show and others, we have made available to you in your back offices. Now, that brought us up to the break, and then after the break, someone that you probably all know, he's talking to you right now, Michael Alexander, that's me. I had the privilege of introducing what was probably the most exciting part of the entire convention. I was able to introduce the introduction of something that is the most innovative, lucrative, and powerful compensation plans, because we have brought all the best in one compensation plan. We're able to pay out more than any other company, and here is a very simple reason for that. We are a virtual. That means, for one, we have no scalability issues, which is a big problem for companies that are product-based companies, because if they start to have success, they find it hard to project 90 days in advance and prepare for what the volumes are going to be, and they get hit back orders, customer service problems, and many, many more challenges that we don't have with a virtual business model. Also, without having cost of products or inventory, the cost of warehousing, the cost of distribution, we can pay out more money than anyone else can pay out, even if they wanted to. They simply couldn't do it. So we have brought the best of everything into one plan. And here's how this entire compensation plan was architected. Obviously, we all know and appreciate Dubli is a 21st century business model. So we looked at Dubli in terms of who we are and what we're becoming, where we want to be in the years ahead. And obviously, we want to become the largest e-commerce company in the world. So we looked at the comp plan and reverse engineered it. You see, compensation plans, by their design, create specific behaviors, and specific behaviors or actions produce specific results. So we looked at what are the results that we want to create, and we reverse engineered this comp plan based upon the desired actions we wanted to create, the desired behaviors we wanted to create those results. And we put together a comp plan that is unbelievable. We call it Dubli's. It's trademarked, copyrighted, the D2G2 plan. Now, D2 represents the first part of the front-end comp plan, which is an enhancement and an overlay on our already existing comp plan, which is going to be utilized for the back end of our compensation, which other companies don't have. Our incomes in the future dwarf the money we make when we get started building our business, and provide stable long-term income, because our incomes are based upon customers' behaviors and habits, just simply doing what they're already doing it the same way they're doing it, but now getting rewarded for doing it, and we get paid on all those cashback transactions. So we have a back end that other companies don't have. But now we have a front end that they can't touch, because we've married the best attributes of three best comp plans that are recognized in our industry. Obviously, people need immediate money, so we have a direct sales part of the compensation plan so that people can make immediate money and get paid weekly on the money they make. We also incorporated a dual team, which sometimes people refer to as a binary, but the binary over the years has evolved and become today what most people refer to as a hybrid. And we have a hybrid comp plan that's the most innovative out there for explosive momentum and explosive money. And we'll get into specific details in a moment. We also have incorporated unilevel generational elements into the comp plan, because those comp plans have been around for a long time. They're viable and stable for long-term money. Also, what most people are excited in the direct sales industry today are matching bonus, matching checks, which builds teamwork and develops leaders, because you want to help everyone to make the most amount of money when you can match what they're making. And then another very important part of our comp plan is a global bonus pool that rewards customer acquisition. Why? Because that's the business we're in. We're in the business of acquiring customers. And a lot of people may not be great recruiters, but they're great customer gatherers. They can talk to their friends and family, the people they worship with, the people they work with, the people in the neighborhood, and show them how they can save money. I mean, who doesn't want to save money? Because by saving money, you never have to pay full price ever again for anything, do we? And so we have designed a comp plan around giving the most benefit for every aspect of our business model. Now, of course, when I said D2G2, did you think of the little character in Star Wars, R2D2? You know, wasn't he everyone's most favorite character? Didn't he always save people, get them out of trouble, and fixed all the problems they had? Well, that's how I think of the comp plan here. Of course, D2, you know, meaning D squared, dual team, binary. G2 meaning generational matching income, not levels, but generations, which is powerful. And we're going to get into specifics on that here in just a moment. But the advantages of this compensation plan, as we lay this out for you in the next few minutes, is that you will see that by far this is the most explosive, lucrative, and leveraged plan in the industry. When you look at the top income earners in this industry that are making multiple six-figure monthly income, some even seven-figure monthly income, over 85% of the top income earners in this industry are coming from this compensation model that we've made even better, which means that if they were working with us, not only would they be making far more money, but they'd still be making it 10, 20, 30 years from now, because our business plan is, and our business model is the right model for the world we live in. Now, just to contrast, when you share this comp plan with people, if you were to ask someone what's easier, building 2 legs or 10 legs, because many comp plans require you to build 10 or 5 or even 3, and how do you keep those balanced in rank advance? Obviously, it only takes common sense to figure out that you can make more money, you know, with a comp plan that drives teamwork, and you get paid on the volume that's coming in to infinity, rather than trying to manage a comp plan with limited overrides in depth, which, you know, this is just an illustration of kind of how out of control a business can get if you've got to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide. With our comp plan, you don't have to do it. It's a dual team, meaning you build 2 teams. You have a team on your left, you have a team on your right. Those people that you bring in do exactly the same thing. Obviously, many of us will bring in far more than just 2 people. They're placed down under other people, and now your organization's going to get paid on that volume, and you're going to get paid on that volume, and you're going to get paid a lot. With our compensation plan, we can get paid unlimited levels on the volume, not limited levels like with other comp plans. So here's some of the pros. Number 1, you only have to build 2 legs. When you look at the average rep in this industry, they only ever sponsor 2 or 3 people anyway. Our comp plan will pay them even if they only sponsor 2 or 3 people, and pay them very well, as you're going to see in a moment. We are paying weekly. We're paid to infinite depth. We have matching bonuses, spillover, as I just described. We have team or power legs, which foster teamwork, and I'm going to get into a very, very significant innovation that we're offering. But most importantly, it's a comp plan that's easy to explain. It's easy for people to understand. Now, offices download as well as PowerPoint presentation download, because this presentation here was more to give people a bigger picture and a lot of flavor, as opposed to just specific introducing the comp plan or training it. But I want to just recap 10 reasons why Dubli's D2G2 comp plan really rocks. Number 1, plan, those of you that have worked them like I have, you know it's the most exciting of all pay plans because of the huge potential payouts that are offered. I can tell you myself that this is the most money that I've ever made in this industry, and the fastest I've ever made it has come as a result of working this type of comp plan. Again, people like to get paid on a weekly basis, not on a monthly basis. Also, as I mentioned earlier, this pays to infinity. People love that. And again, the greatest income earning potential. Slide's a little bit messed up, but if you can read this, I just got a note from someone that your slides are not advancing on their own. So I don't know what that's all about. I hope that all of your slides are advancing, but if you're not, just advance them with me or come back later and just watch the whole presentation as it streams to you as well. One of the things that I love about this comp plan is it really does foster what we talk about in this industry, which is teamwork in the organization. And of course, as I mentioned, it's easier to understand and maintain qualifications than other plans. And it really does the best job of compensating low-range and mid-range commission earners. Also, when you look at building two legs, we call one a team leg or a common leg because that's where you're going to see spillover. But we also have another leg that we call the money leg. So take a moment and just talk about the team leg or common leg. We give each side of your business these different names because they really serve different roles because we get paid on the lesser volume of your leg. But your team and common leg is the one whereby you should see spillover coming from your sponsor. And as your sponsor continues adding new people, as they're just building two, as you're just building two, they have to come under you. So usually the team leg will grow the fastest. Sometimes people call that a power leg. But the most important leg is your money leg. This is the side of your business that you're 100% responsible for building and maintaining. And obviously, we're going to get into how that works in a moment. And then finally, number 10th reason is the dual team binary compensation plan helps the average people and the average network marketer to achieve success faster and financial freedom. Now, of course, our comp plan being a dual team, as you can tell from the scales here, does require some balancing. Now, a lot of leaders in the network marketing industry sometimes prefer what's commonly referred to as a 1/3 or 2/3 compensation plan. But with that, you have to bring in a minimum of 3 sales to get paid, which, people that are part-time usually don't make 3 sales right away, but they can see themselves making 2, which is what most people do, and just 2 sales generates a cycle check, but it also pays you the fast start bonus. So let's get into how this pays out. But as I said, the 50-50 plans are just like they sound. The pay is based on an equal share balance between the 2 legs. So the first thing we need to cover is step 1. You become active in your Dubli business, which I imagine all of you that are joining us right now have already started with Dubli, and you purchased either a team member package, $495 plus a $99 one-time global licensing fee, which covers your website, back office, the Dubli training and TV, and much, much, much more. Or some of you started with what we commonly have been calling the Team Leader Accelerator Package for rapid rank advancement, which also gives you the added advantage of not only making more money from the beginning, but also gives you the advantage of being able to immediately go through the training as well as the certification to be able to go out and introduce this business to partners. And we had one day, specifically one part of one day, just on the partner program and the success, as well as the enhancements that we had. But we're not going to get into that today. We'll do that on the next presentation. Step 2, you need to become qualified. To become qualified, you need to enroll one business associate on your left who either starts as a team member or as a team leader, and enroll one on the right. So you only need to sponsor 2 to become qualified. So again, this is called the D2G2 Dual Team Compensation Plan. It's very simple, easy to learn, easy to duplicate to maximize your earning percentage. And as you're going to see now, we're paying out the highest percentage on cycle bonuses, or sometimes they're referred to as bingo bonuses, based on equal volume on each side generating checks. So here's how this works. First, when you bring your very first person in, you're going to receive 10% fast start bonus, which means if they're coming in for $495, that's $49.50. If they're coming in as a TLA, that's $2,475, which obviously we all know that if you do the math on that, that's 10% of that is $247.50. So how it works, as you can see from the diagram here, if you were the little guy on top and you brought your first little guy in on the left, you made a 10% fast start on the $495. You bring another one in on the right, you made another 10%, which is $495. That also triggers your first cycle check, your binary check, your bingo check, whatever you want to call it. So you actually, by just bringing in two people, get paid 3 different ways. Now, what the cycle bonus very simply is, folks, is this. Every time you accumulate 400 points on the left side and another 400 points on your right side, you'll get paid a minimum of 10% on the lesser volume, but you can also earn up to 20%. And I'm going to show you how to earn the maximum in just a few minutes, the 20%. But we get paid points are equal to dollars. So what happens is if you bring someone in for $495, that's enough volume to trigger a cycle check. So you subtract 400 from 495, the 95 remains and carries over until you have another 400 points on each side, which triggers another cycle check. So you get paid on 100% of the volume that you're generating, both on the fast start as well as the cycle checks, but it may take a few cycles in order to maximize all that payout. So once again, when you enroll your first person on the left and one on your right, your percentage points begins at 10%. You repeat the process and you get 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right, active qualified people. This gives you a raise to 15% now on the volume of the lesser side. Doesn't matter whether it's left or right, you're now making 15% on that volume, and you can make 20% when you enroll your third pair, meaning you have 3 on your left side, 3 on your right side that are qualified and active. That gets you up to 20%. In other words, in US dollars, it's like getting paid $40 on 10% or getting a raise up to $80, doubling your money at 20%. Now, when you look at most of the comp plans that are out there that are paying dual team or binary checks, most of them are only paying 10%. We start out at 10%, and actually when you start out, you're actually going to get paid the full 20%, but I'm saving that for last. But we give you the opportunity to maximize the comp plan from the very, very beginning, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment, until you have time to actually sponsor 3 left, 3 right, and then that takes you up to the maximum. If you don't, then you're still going to get paid at least what is pretty much the standard pay in the industry. So here's a graph in a picture what we're talking about. The little red guys here, if you sponsor one of them on the left and on the right in the red, that qualifies you for 10%. You sponsor two more people, one left represented by the guys in the green circle, you go to 15%. You sponsor your third left, third right represented in the purple circle. That takes you up to 20% in the dual team compensation plans. So let's compare. Today, if you sponsor one person and you started as a team member, you're making 5%, aren't you? Now you're making, with this comp plan, when it goes into effect in about a month's time, you're making double that, 10%. So you're going to make double on the first one, double on the second one, but now that also creates a cycle check, plus the volume that's coming in from your line of sponsorship can obviously add additional volume. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how, when you get started, the company also adds volume to generate your check. So again, the dynamics of you doing what we just showed with, you know, the personals being the 2 guys left and right in red, 2 guys left and right, or it could be ladies in green, the 2 guys left and right in purple. I apologize, the slide with this presentation isn't animated. It's much better when it's animated. I can show you how, as your people start to bring in their people, That's creating more volume that they get paid on, but it's also volume that you get paid on. And as we were just talking about, who doesn't want to get 20% on the volume to infinity on the lesser volume side? We all do. So let's now jump into the G part of the compensation plan, because it is G2, G2. G2 is the generation, duplication, matching checks that we talked about. And it works exactly the same way. On your personally enrolled people, you can qualify to earn a 10% matching bonus on the people that you personally sponsor. Well, actually, the slide that's up right now is just recap just said. So let me just advance here just a moment. Here's the slide I was looking for. When you personally sponsor people, there's no limit as to how many people you can personally sponsor. But with this side of the business, with the matching bonus, with one left, one right, you're getting a 10% match on your personals. Two left, two right, you're getting a 15% match. And three left, three right, you're getting a 20% match on your personals. And you can have as you want. Doesn't matter where they get placed in the dual team. They could be 5 levels, 15 levels, 100 levels below you. They're still treated as your personals, which means that you're going to get a match of up to 20% of what their dual team bonuses are. So again, just to illustrate this, bring people in, they're considered to be front line to you, even though they're only going to be placed somewhere in your dual team, left and right. And of course, as you sponsor 2 left, you're at 10%. Well, I'm sorry, 1 left, 1 right, you're at 10%. 2 left, 2 right, you're at 15%. 3 left, 3 right, you're at 20%. Now, in addition, we've also added generational bonuses. Now, when you look at the incomes of the people making the most money in the industry, somewhere between 70 and 80% of their checks are coming from matching bonus checks, not from their binary income. Now, when you look at those checks, most of these companies are all paying on levels, and we're paying on generations. And you can start to pick up your generations, which fall below your personally enrolled match income, when you reach the rank of team leader. And the way it works very simply is if you're a team leader, regardless of how many people may be between you and your first team leader, you could have, as in this illustration, 4 team members in between you. This is a generation, so you're getting a matching check on team member number 1. You're getting a matching check on team member number 2. You're getting a matching check on team member number 3. And you're getting a matching check on team leader number 4. So you're actually picking up all the way down and including the team leader, regardless of whether they're first level to you, 3 levels below you, 33 levels before you. It's considered to be a generation. So we're picking up many more matching checks with generational matches as opposed to level matches. So again, we're going to be able to pay out more. Now, what happens when you rank advance to team coordinator is this. You now get paid through generations of team coordinators. So now if you have team leaders or team members between you as a team coordinator and your first team coordinator, you're getting matching checks on all those people. Now, to keep it simple, I'm showing this in a straight line, but the reality is all these people in between these team coordinators represented by the pink boxes, they could be sponsoring many people left and right, and you're getting matching checks. They could be sponsoring people on their left, sponsoring people on their right, building their income, and you're getting a matching check on all those people. But your first generation you see here, as a team coordinator, you picked up now 2 generations of team coordinators. Now, what happens if you don't have any team coordinators? Well, then you would get matching checks on everybody to infinity until you get down to your first or second team coordinator as your business matures. Now, it gets even more exciting because the same dynamic is working for you when you rank advance to the level of sales director. Meaning that when you advance to sales director, you're now getting generations on sales directors. And now you get paid through 3 generations of sales directors in each of your legs. So now you're picking up matching checks on any team members, any team leaders, any team coordinators between you and your first sales director. And that's only your first generation. Now you're picking up matching checks on all the team members, team leaders, team coordinators, all the way down to and then including your next sales director. You're getting matched. And then your third. And when you rank advanced to vice president, you pick up a 4th generation of sales directors, not of vice presidents, but of sales directors. And so if you don't have 4 generations of sales directors in a leg, you're getting matching checks to infinity. Start to do the math on this, folks. You're not going to sleep tonight. Now, here's an illustration of what we're talking about. As you can see, as a team member, there's no generational matching checks for you, but as a team member, you do get paid on your personally sponsored people, starting at a 10% match on your personally sponsored up to as much as 20% as a team member. That's true all the way across the board. Team members, team leaders, team coordinators, sales directors, vice presidents, senior vice presidents, they can all earn up to a 20% match on their personally enrolled BAs. But as you can see here, as a team leader, you pick up your first generation. As a team coordinator, you're picking up 2 generations. As a sales director, 3. As a vice president and senior vice president, you're picking up an additional 4 generations on top of what you're getting paid on your personally sponsored people. And of course, also very exciting is the fact that the company is allocating 3% of all the global sales that's going into a customer acquisition bonus pool. Now, you don't earn shares by buying VIP customer vouchers. You earn shares by converting those vouchers into customers. To earn the shares, you need a minimum of 3 activations. 3 activations, meaning 3 people activated their VIP customer voucher, or 3 people signed up as VIP customers on your Dubli.com website. However you get those 3 VIP customers, that equals 1 share in the pool, and there's no limit to the number of shares that you can earn in this pool. There are going to be people, many of you on this call, that really know how to use the internet today that can bring in so many customers, and you're going to earn so many shares in this customer acquisition bonus pool. Also, another big announcement that Michael Hansen made is that whatever you earn from the customer acquisition bonus pool, Dubli is going to match it and use those matching funds from Dubli. You're going to get your 3% as part of your income, but the match Dubli is going to put into their global branding, marketing, and advertising campaign to build customers from all over the world. And so based on your shares in the pool, you will actually be awarded customers that you will see showing up in your business. Now, if you have customer vouchers that you purchased and these people upgrade, the system will automatically give them your VIP customer vouchers. I mean, they have really thought of everything, and they're putting their money behind this company in every way imaginable. So how many shares would you like to have in the bonus pool? You can have as big a share as you want. Hopefully, you're going to go for as many shares as you can. So let's get prepared for November 1st. Why do you want to be prepared for November 1st? And why do you want to start today? Here's several reasons why. As we migrate the existing genealogy, which will remain intact for the back-end part of our compensation plan, the unilevel with differential pay and generational pay as we know it today will still be in place to pay us on all the customer cashback transactions of our personal customers, our team's personal customers, and our partner programs customers. We're still going to get paid the same way as we have for that, but that genealogy will now create a new dual team genealogy. Now, naturally, that's going to squeeze all of these people into two lines, which means that many of you, the higher the rank you are, the more likely you're going to see people start showing up in your genealogy, and their volume and the volume that comes from the people they build is volume that you can get paid on. Now, the new binary or D2 dual team genealogy is going to be built. First and foremost, you have to be active. Number one, only active people are going to be placed in it. The second criteria is the highest qualified rank, which our master distributor is an SVP, so naturally he's at the top of the binary tree, but then under him are the other SVPs. And then under those SVPs, those senior vice presidents, will go vice presidents, and then sales directors. And so you want to be sure that you have reached the level of sales director before November 1st to get priority placement, because everyone's line of sponsorship will be maintained. They'll still have the same common upline that they have today. But the reality is they may wind up many levels below in the dual team by the compression. So this means, very simply, if you're a sales director, or even better, if you're a vice president, as everything is squeezed into these two teams off the company, you could wind up, if you're a vice president, seeing a lot of new sales directors, maybe even some vice presidents under you. As sales directors, you could see sales directors. You'd certainly see team coordinators. You'd certainly see team leaders. You'd certainly see team members showing up that you didn't personally sponsor, and neither did, other people. But above you is a sales director or a vice president or a senior vice president, and so the people still have the same integrity as far as the line of sponsorship, but you could wind up inheriting a lot of people if you build to sales director before November 1st, or even better, build to vice president by November 1st. It will pay you so much money when the new comp plan starts paying November 1st. So remember, here's your strategy to be in the best position come November 1st. Obviously, besides being a sales director or a vice president, you want to make sure that you're maximizing the comp plan. You want to make sure that you're getting percent on the weaker side of your dual team. You want to make sure that you're getting a 20% match on your personal recruits. So if you only have 2 active and qualified, meaning 1 left, 1 right, you're at 10%. If you have 4 people, 2 left and 2 right that are qualified and active, you're at 15%. And if you have 6, meaning 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, all 6 are qualified and active, you've maximized the comp plan at 20%. Now, how many of you would like to, as we move forward starting November 1st, and you're bringing people into the business as a team member, meaning they're coming in for $495, if you could tell these people, look, the company is running a promotion and they're going to give you 4,000 points, which is equal to $4,000 on your team leg or your common leg. Do you think that might get people excited if they're getting $4,000 worth of free volume? Now, only they get paid on it, and it lasts for 30 days, so they need to go to work immediately. They don't want to procrastinate, because after 30 days, if they haven't used that volume by building their money leg, the money's going to disappear. But it gets people to go to work immediately. It also puts them in a position to maximize their income. Because if they get 4,000 of volume in their team leg, again, they would need to sponsor 1 left on the team leg or common leg and 1 on the right, which qualifies them to get 10% on the weaker volume. But because they've got 4,000 of volume on the other side, that's the equivalent of really getting 20%. Because if you're getting 20% on your weaker side, obviously you have corresponding volume on the other. So 20% on the one side is really an effective or actual payout of 10%. And any money that isn't paid out, or any volume or points that aren't paid out on, will roll over week after week, month after month, as long as you remain active, which means you must purchase one of the VIP annual customer vouchers each month. And so what you want to do here is, between now and November 1st, is make sure that you get 6 people qualified and active to maximize the comp plan. And as we go forward, people are going to receive free volume so that they can maximize the comp plan the very first 30 days that they're in the business. That gives them plenty of time to sponsor 3 left and 3 right, so they can continue to maximize the comp plan. And even better is, if your people, like so many people do, they see the value of the partner program, and starting with the TLA package, everyone starting November 1st that starts with the TLA package will receive 20,000 points, equivalent to $20,000 on their team leg or common leg, so they can focus on building a power leg with the team they're recruiting, to get momentum going from that kind of focused activity. That is one of the dynamics of what we're talking about, one of the innovations. Now, I just got a couple of questions, so just to kind of wrap things up, I want to answer some of these questions. One of the questions was, if I already have 6 directly sponsored active people, do I qualify for the 20%? That depends. If you have 6 direct active, they need to sponsor 2 people for them to be qualified. Remember, with the dual team, they sponsor 1 on the left, 1 on the right. So if your 6 who are active now have sponsored their 2 people, they could have sponsored more, but as long as they've sponsored at least 2, they would, for the purposes of calculating commission starting November 1st, be considered both active and qualified, which would mean that you would qualify for the maximum payout of 20%, both on the dual team cycle bonuses as well as the 20% on your personals. And he just said, awesome, I agree. I mean, I have never seen anything as powerful as this. Now, I've got another question here. I'm being asked, where can we view this again? The link that got you onto the live presentation, if you give that link to anyone or you use it again, you will go in, you will see at the bottom of the page a bar that says click to view the recorded presentation. You click it and you can view it. You want to view it in full screen, just close out the chat box, close out the guest list, and you'll be able to actually see the full screen. And so we're going to leave that up here until we do the next presentation. When we do the recap of day 2 and 3 of the Dubai Summit, it will erase this one. So I want to leave this up for a couple of days so that you can watch it again if you'd like to watch it again. Also, you can share this with anybody you want to so that they can also access this. And, you know, I certainly want to thank everyone for joining us. It's going on midnight here in Dubai. I'm not sure where it is in your part of the world, but please get prepared for November 1st. Start today. It can change your future forever with Dubli. Remember your goal, and everyone on your team's goal is to make sure you personally sponsor a minimum of 6 people and help them to sponsor at least so they're both qualified and active. That puts you in the position to maximize both the D2 and the D side of our business. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now to everyone until we have the opportunity to come together once again. Thank you. We have people from all over the world joining us. I mean, we had such a phenomenal attendance this evening. Well, at least it's nighttime for me. So with that, let's go out and make the very most that we have the remaining time of this month. Remember, if you hit team coordinator or sales director this month, it puts you in a position to earn the open line bonuses, which means you get an extra $500 bonus for every 10 people that are joining your organization. Also, you get a $300 bonus by bringing in 3 team members, or a $1,500 bonus if you sponsor in the next 30 days 3 people at TLA. So don't leave any of this money on the table. You want to grab it all, but I tell you, I can hardly wait to November 1st. I wanted this to start October 1st, but Michael and I think his compassion and empathy for people wanted to give everyone the opportunity to push and reach for sales director and many for vice president. I hope you all make it. If you're not already there at vice president or sales director, do whatever it takes to get to those levels for priority placement for the launch November 1st. Good night, everybody.